Well, hello there, everybody. Oh my goodness, suddenly there's notifications everywhere. Why am I hearing notifications? Let's clear those up. I hope you are all well. I'm not very well, I'm just going to say that now. I have had some weird thing take over since about 8 o'clock last night. I think you can see I'm not looking fabulous. And it's like giving me the shakes. I know there's a lot of viral stuff going around at the moment, and it seems that after a lovely, lovely spa afternoon with my daughter yesterday, at a beautiful spa place in Worthing, actually, for anybody who's local, I will put a photo up. We then went to have some food, and then I came back and just started to feel dreadful. So I've been in bed sweating it out, and it's snowing. And it's just made me think that the energies, so for me, I have felt really, really emotional as well. Like this morning particularly, just feeling really sorry for myself. And actually, as we reflect on this new moon and we look at the fact that this is the end of the astrological year in terms of Pisces being the last sign of the zodiac and then moving into Aries, I think it's in a couple of days' time, so around the 23rd after the equinox, then we are really moving into a space of new seeds. So we've been talking about since October composting. So since Samhain or Halloween, we've been talking about things that we're prepared to let go of, to allow to leave our lives in order to pursue the direction that we feel a calling to go in. And we've had, the winter the winter solstice. We've had New Year in the Gregorian calendar. We've then had New Year in the Chinese calendar, and now we're moving into the New Year of the astrological calendar. So I think we're really in the phase of co-creating this new year. And the question is, what are you ready to plant for the new year that's coming? Now, anybody who's already joined, please let me know who's on the call. I'm just giving you all a few minutes to actually connect in. And we know that the new moon is born in about 10 minutes or so. So I would, if any of you have been feeling emotional, particularly what emotions have been playing up for you, so what's been coming up, and recognizing, hello Danny, welcome. What is your... So what are these? This is a purging. This is the best way for me to describe it. I'm having a physical purging. There is a purging in nature. There's a cleansing going on. So what is within you that isn't serving your highest good? What is within you as concepts about yourself, feelings about yourself that require your own compassion and forgiveness towards self? And this is what it's really been about for me today. Had an apple cider vinegar bath last night. Had another one this morning. I've literally been shaking. Like it's not been much fun. But this is how you get Rosie to slow down, it seems. And actually, I tell you what, the honest truth for me is being like, I am done with being this busy. If there is one thing that I'm going to be putting in the co-creation sphere today, it's just like, yes, I'm an incredibly capable person and I get a lot of stuff done, but I don't want to have to do so much anymore. And I've kind of encountered this several times in my own experience, because actually I love doing lots of different things, and I love, I have passions in so many different areas that the busyness isn't about not feeling, because everything that I'm busy doing leads me back into feeling. It's all part of that. But I think I'm coming to a point that I'm actually ready to enjoy more of the space of just and just taking time and kind of going to more things rather than must do. So if any of you are resonating with that, let me know. And I'm going to read just a little bit from the Intuitive Astrology transcript from Tanaz, because I love what she writes. So, it's a time of completion. We're in a place of really finding balance and creating a sense of wholeness. So you might want to journal as I'm saying all this stuff. What do you need to bring balance into your life, and where do you feel a need of creating a sense of wholeness? So what feels incomplete in your life? What feels as though it's not quite as you would like it to be? Just being honest with yourself, that radical self-honesty is so important. And the Pisces New Moon will give us a big picture of the year gone by. So it's a review of the last 12 months. And the question is, you know, we're getting the opportunity to see how everything can fit together in its own special and unique way. So 17th of March last year, what were you thinking? What were you doing? What big decisions had you made? I had ended for the upteenth time a long on-off relationship with a beloved that I love dearly, but I just can't seem to have something consistent with. And I'd made a very strong, firm decision at the time. So I was kind of facing life again with myself. And what an adventurous year it has been. Although life is always leading us in interesting directions, there is a purpose and a plan to it all. And embracing this and accepting whatever comes can help you to find peace and keep on moving forward. So I think this is a really important element just before this new moon is born, that we're actually feeling somewhat shaky, like I said, and perhaps judgmental about the directions that we've taken if it doesn't seem as though they've amounted anywhere. And I think this is written beautifully here in that it might not make sense where you've gone. There is a purpose and a plan to it all. You know, it might not make sense where you've gone yet, but you're looking to make the sense out of it. What has it taught you about yourself? And in particular for me, it's when something can look really good on paper, but you're just not feeling it. And the conflict between that, what looks good on paper, what you should want, but what you actually do want. That's been a conflict area in my life, and it's all to do with my conditioning. So just offering that to you. The symbol of Pisces is fish swimming in opposite directions and reflects this energy, signifying finding harmony and peace no matter what direction you're flowing in life. So this goes back to self-acceptance. This really goes back to you being your own best friend, your own fan, number one fan, no matter what. And remembering that you have the best intentions, even if you may be short-sighted at times. And it's when we realize we've kind of prioritized things that maybe weren't the best priorities, or maybe we upset someone's feelings as a result of how we prioritize. These concepts of being selfish are very interesting. And I think you're kind of getting this detox moment now to be able to then move into a space of resurrection. Okay, so it ties in as well with Easter coming up. So what is dying down in order to be reborn? You're going to feel a sense of completion or wholeness with the direction of your life, and it'll also be helping you to start thinking about the future. And with the future, what we're going to be focusing today in the meditation is how we want to feel, rather than the specifics of what that's actually going to look like. I mean, the old ways of manifesting and co-creating our reality were to have very specific goals in mind. And I think what we've realized through that, and that's a kind of third dimensional perspective and way of manifesting, is that you might achieve it, but it doesn't necessarily bring you the feelings that you hoped would be associated with it. So focusing on the feelings that you want to bring forward is what we're going to be focusing on today. And that's kind of planting the seeds of your new year. How do you want to feel? And that really puts you into a place of like, oh, okay, if I just connect with how I want to feel, then once I start to feel those feelings and I cultivate them in myself daily, I'll be able to see what resonates with that and what doesn't resonate with that in my life. The people that come in, the situations that come in, do they resonate, don't they resonate? And sometimes we can get a very strong sense of no or yes, but actually we are just encountering our own resistance. And it is important to sort of take a step back from that and say, okay, would I be open to this with a reframe? Would I be open to this if I shifted my perspective on it? Sometimes I resist doing the deeper work, the shadow work. It's like, oh, really? Okay. And it, you know, it's just this honesty of where we go with it. You know, it's self-love. We're all doing the best we can. So, are there any wounds or sores that you have been nursing? If so, this energy is going to help you think about them in a new light and bring a sense of acceptance and forgiveness to whatever has transpired. So, we're going to definitely start with a clearing sphere, and then we're going to turn that into an energizing sphere today. So we're looking at the bigger picture and to see events that have unfolded as a whole. By looking at the whole picture and focusing on the beginning, middle, and end, you are going to gain a much clearer understanding of your journey. Well, yes. We definitely want to move out of victim consciousness. remembering that life on this earthly dimension isn't always easy, but the more we follow the rhythms and cycles of our own heart and soul and focus on the good, the easier it becomes to transcend some of the muck and mud that you encounter along the way. I think it is important to remember that Earth is a school. You know, we're learning to be in physical bodies. And so, you know, one thing that really pissed me off today was I got an email from my team about being data protection compliant. Okay, which of course, you know, I don't want to be messing around with my clients' details and making it, you know, just putting them at risk. But, you know, this whole document's complete jargon. I can't understand it. Thankfully, I have people in my team who can. And it's just like, really, is this stuff so important? Is this how we're thinking? Isn't there another way for us to kind of not be so caught up in this administrative nonsense that most of us just want to chuck away? That's definitely something for me. Is like, I am really done with those little things that we have to do that you don't really want to do. So I'm inviting you to really think about, hello, Sarah Ross. I'm inviting you to think about the stuff you do in your life daily that actually you could really do without. And the things you know that you really need to do, being able to reframe those things. So, you know, we need to feed our animals, for example. You know, we might need to bathe them. We might need to have a wash. We need to keep our kitchens clean, all that kind of thing. But how we can kind of strip away the things that we really don't need to be doing anymore, but we think we should be doing, because that's our conditioning, and then moving into actually what it means. You want a cleaner? Yeah, I want a cleaner again too now, actually. I used to have one, and then I moved to this little house and thought, I can't justify it, but actually, I think I can. So yeah, having a cleaner would be great. What else do you want? You know, if you are watching and you know you're done with something in your life and you would like it to be different, please comment on what that is. And you know, for me, it's definitely little bitty things. It's constantly having little bitty things to do, which I just can't be bothered, really. I do them, but it's just an endless, you know, when you're running two businesses, or, you know, coordinating two businesses and then a whole load of stuff outside of that, it gets a little bit mental. So I'm looking forward to basically just co-creating with grace and ease. I think that's what it comes down to, is being able to do everything with grace and ease. Just approach it with grace and ease. And when you don't feel like doing something, if you don't have to do it in that moment, don't do it. Trust in divine timing. Only the other day I was like pushing myself to get a Airbnb booked, because I had a course that I was going to go to, and I was like, you've got to book it, but I just wasn't really feeling it, but I did it anyway. And the next moment I get an email through saying that the course dates have been changed and the venue has changed as well. So I had to cancel the Airbnb. And this is the thing, is we create more work for ourselves by forcing ourselves to do things that our heart is just not in it. So in order to align with our divine design, in order to align with our soul's purpose, we need to stop lying to ourselves and telling ourselves we have to do things we don't want to do. Yes, we are living in a material world, but it's only partly material. And when you recognize your magical nature, you get to bend material world into your particular fancy. One final point I'm going to make before we get going, and, you know, she says there's drinking her cacao at the moment. The physical body is essential to keep well. If you are doing lots of energy work and you are not actually looking after your physical body properly, stop doing energy work. Seriously, stop doing it. Okay? I'm saying this to you because in the end, you're just going to keep increasing the voltage in your body in terms of frequency and energy, and your body is not going to be able to sustain it. So in the end, it's not very good for your health long term. Okay, my mum died at 60. She was an amazing energy worker, but she loved her sweeties, she loved her sugar, she loved her flour products, and although she thought she was looking after herself, she did need to do something more radical. And I think this is the thing, anyone who is doing energy work needs to have a very solid, strong, healthy body. Otherwise, what we tend to do is carry a lot of weight to deal with the frequencies of energy that are with us. And as a result of that, well, cancer gets stored in fat cells. So, you know, it's not very good for our health. So I'm inviting you, please, to start to think more about your physical being and about the changes you need to make on a very basic level. It's moved to high fat, high protein diet for most of us, and staying away from the carbs and the sugars. Those are really important changes we can all make to be much healthier. Okay, so I'm going to get on with our meditation now. The new moon has been born. I think it was at 1:13 or 14. And I'm going to get us in now. So if you've lit a candle, great. If you haven't, now's your chance. If you've got your crystal, I have several here. I like to work with a masculine and a feminine crystal. So I have these two here. I'm asking you to get comfy now, and we'll be about 25 minutes probably, and we'll do a little check-in afterwards. So, of course, Lavender comes. Come on then, Bubba. She is the one who does all the healing here. I'm absolutely convinced she's a spy for the Syrian star constellation. I am a bit bonkers, I know, but you can't make this stuff up. But she, honestly, she's been part of every healing, everything I've ever done. She's there. She's so beautiful. Thank you. I acknowledge you in deepest gratitude. Yes. Okay, so let's get on with it. If you want to make sure your spine is nice and straight, and then allow yourself to close your eyes. And welcome your breath into your body. And as you welcome your breath into your body, know that you are welcoming your spirit. You are welcoming your consciousness. Your breath is with you from the moment you take your first breath to the moment you take your last. It is the spirit of life that is within you. So welcoming it, relaxing your abdomen, breathing into your abdomen, breathing into your chest. And becoming aware of your pelvis, your pelvic floor, becoming aware of the soles of your feet on the earth, becoming aware of your earth chakra, which is about 3 foot deep in the earth. And we're now connecting. When we connect to Gaia's heart, we do that through our heart. So as we acknowledge that we are the one self, then the cosmic heart and Gaia's heart, or Mother Earth's heart, both dwell in our own heart. So we are no longer tapping into the old earth paradigm. It's important not to be connecting down to the center of the earth as we know it, because you're kind of undoing your positive creations. We are building a new earth paradigm. We are co-creating a paradise code lifetime here on this planet as it was originally intended. And there is a crystalline grid wrapping all the way around the surface of the earth. But as you visualize your own charging dock about 3 foot deep in the earth, so you know, for most of us that's about waist deep, or you know, hip deep into the earth. Imagine that you're that deep into the earth and your feet are basically plugging in to 2 perfect imprints for your feet. So as you allow your feet to rest in this charging pod, they fit perfectly. So it's designed for you. And as you do this, this activates your connection to the crystalline grid, which connects you to every other light being here on this planet. What is a light being? Someone who is aware of the fact that they are more than their physical self, that they're a divine human having a physical experience. So everyone who connects with me is a light being. And I'd like you, just before we do any invocations, just to be aware of a sphere of compassion surrounding you. And be aware of the core line that connects you to the center of the, to the center of the multiverse. So way up through our sun, through the center of our universe, to the center of the multiverse. And all the way down into your earth chakra. A straight line that moves through your body. And then check in with the outline of your physical being, so the outline of your skin. And just notice which of those outlines is strongest right now, and which one is weakest. I'm going to use this meditation co-creation to bring balance to all three of these. Some of you may also be seeing within the sphere, if you're visual, a 6-pointed star around your body. And some of you may be seeing a diamond shape instead of a 6-pointed star. There's no right or wrong. I'm just pointing all this out for you in case you're seeing other things. And this is you becoming aware of your light body, which is why I'm connecting you to it. Okay, so we're going to start with some affirmations to connect us to our I Am Presence, which is our God Self, our inner presence, which is a spark of the divine within each of us. So, just repeating after me, I am the one self I am. I am all that is. I am that I am. I am unity consciousness. I am source consciousness. I am the source of my creations. I am the creator of my reality. I am a multi-dimensional being of love and light. I am sovereign. I am creator. I am free. I am aligning with Earth's ascension timeline. I am commanding an axitonial alignment with my divine design timeline. I am choosing to co-create my personal paradise. I am choosing to co-create with grace and ease. I am calling in my soul family, my star family, my familial and ancestral lineages, and all the guides and teachers of the purest vibrations of love and light, who seek to support me to live my purpose here on earth. I am that I am. Alrighty. So again, just being aware of this huge sphere of compassion that surrounds you. You can make it as big as the room that you're in or as big as your home. And this sphere is made of trillions of little spheres, all spinning on their own axis. So if you looked at any wall along the sphere, you'd see trillions of little spheres all spinning, because it's a holographic sphere. And what it does is it shifts the frequency of energy around you to the frequency of compassion. So just for a moment, allow yourself to be bathed in love. I'm inviting you to invite the energy of this new moon in Pisces. So just imagine the new moon above you. And just from the very tip of the bottom of this crescent, imagine a whole load of moon dust Moving down through your being, through the crown of your head, down through all of your energy centers and your meridian pathways, down through the cells, the molecules, the atoms, the subatomic particles of your quantum of your body and the quantum field, photon stream that makes up all that you are. And as this moonlight moves through you, moves down through your feet, through your pelvic floor, and it anchors into your earth chakra. So everybody that is connected to this crystalline grid now is getting an opportunity to purge what isn't going to serve them in the new year. So now I invite you to create a small sphere of compassion in front of your face, remembering that this sphere is able to expand as much as you need it to. So every in-breath, you're breathing more of this moonlight down through your being. And every out-breath, you're breathing into the sphere all that no longer serves you. So allowing yourself to let go of any feelings towards yourself that are not complementary. Allowing yourself to let go of guilt, blame, shame, fear, rage, just allowing the unsavory, allowing the emotions that you find most challenging to deal with to be breathed into the sphere in front of you. Breathing any physical disease, any emotional disease, any mental disease, any spiritual dis-ease. Remembering dis-ease means discomfort, misalignment. So any and all beliefs you hold about yourself that keep you being small, keep you playing small, breathe them into the sphere. And allow the sphere to start to spin so that it's really drawing out of you what isn't needed. And for all of you who are like me, who need to know why, let go of the needing to know why as well. So every unresolved scenario in your life involving every unresolved relationship in your life, place those in the sphere too. What to do about this? What to do about that? Put them in the sphere. Put the person in the sphere. Put the dynamic in the sphere. Very nice. And put any sense of failure in the sphere, any sense of not doing well enough, of feeling as though you're working so hard, you're doing so much. Any martyrdom, just put that in the sphere. Any sense of feeling stuck between a rock and a hard place, put that in the sphere. Notice how big that sphere is getting and what it looks like. Like, how does it look in there? Mine just looks like it's full of murky pond water and loads of snakes and eels. So just being open to whatever imagery you get. And allowing yourself to release completely, wholly, fully from your cellular, molecular, atomic and subatomic memory, from the waves and particles of your quantum field and photon stream, from all dimensions of your being and all directions of time, including your physical body, astral body, pranic body, mental and emotional bodies, divine blueprint template, celestial and causal bodies. May this process continue until completion. So I just want to give you a little bit more time so that you feel as though you are full of moonlight. And this moonlight is like, it's unification, bringing unity consciousness to everything that seems out of sorts in your world. Great. Okay, so as you feel this moonlight overflowing within you, notice that as you are still releasing into the sphere in front of you, this moonlight is expanding into your energy field. So it's moving beyond your skin into your energy field. So the whole of the sphere of compassion that surrounds you is filled with moonlight. The only place it isn't is in the sphere in front of you, which has all of the stuff that you're letting go of. And you're asking, we are commanding a complete and irreversible healing of all that we are ready and willing to let go of now. And even the things that we're not willing to let go of, but we know we should. We know it's in alignment with the highest good of all. It's being able to surrender it all. Trusting in our higher guidance. Trusting that we will be supported every step of the way to make these changes as we need to. In divine timing, in divine order. And now just allow a beam of this moonlight to extend from your heart into the sphere in front of you. Start to love up everything that's in there. And so the moonbeam acts like a little tornado? Yeah. It spirals into the sphere and gathers momentum. It starts to spin faster and faster within the sphere, so everything it encounters that is denser, is of a lower frequency, gets loved up to this moonlight. And so eventually you're going to have a beautiful sphere full of moonlight. I'm just going to give you a few moments to enjoy this process. And you kind of know when you're there because you'll end up taking a bit of a deep breath or something will happen. Sometimes you shudder. You just know that it's full. And the sphere will just stop and glow as well. That's it. Okay. So we're just going to anchor this bit. And know that it happens in quantum time, so it just happens instantly. It's our brains that need longer to compute it. So just I command that this process continues until completion. Please repeat that after me. I command that this process continues until completion. Anchor, anchor, anchor. Recalibrate, align. Balance and harmonize. For graceful, gentle, and easy integration, and expression. And so it is, and so it shall be. Awesomeness. So now we're going to bring down the frequency of grace. And this is the rosy glow frequency, okay? This is the soft pink light that surrounds the rosy glow logo. It always blows me away, like how time isn't linear, because that logo was designed so much earlier than when I met Susanna. So I had no idea that I was picking the colours that I'd be working with for years forward, but there you go. So inviting the frequency of grace in through the crown of the head. So you just say to yourself, I am the ray of grace. I am the ray of grace. I am the ray of grace. Just allow this soft pink light to move down through your body, anchor it into your earth chakra, and feel it move through the crystalline grid for everyone that's part of our community to benefit from. And then from your heart, pour it into the sphere in front of you. So just remembering that the frequency of grace allows us to let go of what no longer serves us easily, gently, compassionately. So that's just like a double healing and clearing of the moonlight and the frequency of grace. And see it merging with the beautiful moonlight. So you're basically going to be surrounded with soft pink and white cotton wool. And as you feel this sphere in front of you fill up, at some point you're going to step into it. So when you feel called to step into the soft pink and the moonlight, and just allow yourself to expand the sphere and step into it. So now you are surrounding yourself with the frequency of grace and the healing energy of the moonlight. You're cleansed, and you're filling up the spaces that were previously full of the density that you have cleared up. So now instead of having gaping holes within your being, you're filling up with healing light. And I'm inviting you now to have a sense of your higher self from your divine design timeline communicating with you. So what bodily signals do you get from your higher self, from your divine design timeline, that let you know that something you're contemplating, you're talking about, you're thinking or feeling into is bang on track with your divine design timeline? So that's your purpose here, your what you as a soul designed for yourself before you came back to Earth as a life that would fulfill the purpose you set out to achieve in order to evolve your soul. So for me, when I get communication from my higher self, from my divine design timeline, I get a tingling or energy at the crown of my head and in my heart. It's like a buzzing at the crown of my head and a warmth in my heart. So just say, higher self from my divine design timeline, can you please show me how you communicate with me physically? And just notice what your body does for you, how it communicates with you. And you might not get anything initially, but if you keep asking, you will receive the communication. You just need to focus on being still with it and asking your body to communicate with you the different aspects of your being. Okay, so keeping that awareness, now I'm inviting you to plant the seeds of how you want to feel over the next 12 months. So what are the overriding feelings that you want to connect with daily? For me, the feeling of being delighted, just delighted by life, delighted by my connections with people, delighted by my work, delighted by the changes I'm seeing in the world, delighted by the changes I'm seeing in myself. That's like a frequency I really want to connect to. Also feeling safe. What else would matter to you? What else do you want to feel like really taken care of? Lovingly held by life, being a magnet for fantastic opportunities. What else would you like to feel? How else would you like to feel every day? Trusting, peaceful, aligned with divine purpose. Like for me, it's really important to be able to hear my inner guidance. So tuned in. And just get yourself to the point where you're just feeling blissed out. You're feeling the way that you can carry yourself through every day of this year in the bubble of your own joy, your own delight, your own grace and self-love. And you know this bubble is always around you and it's a magnet for all that you need. Just keeps drawing to you what you need before you've even asked for it. So you've set your intention about how you want to feel. So your God self, your inner presence, is constantly aligning with and providing you with opportunities that keep you focused in the direction you want to go. Your ego mind might take you in other places, but if you keep connecting to your God self, you will start to hear that voice more clearly. And see yourself being a magnet for your highest good throughout the year. Trusting that what is aligned with your divine design will be felt in your being. You will know. And if you have doubt, then trust it. If you have doubt, then back off. Work with the doubt. But trust yourself. This is the journey we're all on. Learning to take our power back. Okay, so when you feel ready, we're going to anchor this. So just repeating after me, I command that this process continues until completion. Anchor, anchor, anchor. Recalibrate, align. Balance and harmonize. For graceful, gentle, and easy integration and expression. For the highest good of all, and so it is. Okay, so just before we come back, in this state, just notice now the outline of your sphere of compassion, the outline of your physical body, and your core line, which extends from the original source of all that is, all the way down to your earth chakra. And as you're breathing yourself back, notice both the definition of those outlines and the strength of them. So for the last few days, the outline of my physical body, which has always been my weakest, has been on fire. It's just been blazing. So something's awakening, and I think this is to do with the diet that I'm following at the moment. Made some really big changes. And then the outline of my physical body. Sorry, energy body. So if you check in with your sphere of compassion now, see the outline of that and how it compares to your physical outline and your core outline. Good. So let them balance out. And just give the lines that need more support to permission to strengthen. So for example, if the outline of your sphere is weak, just say, I command that the outline of my sphere of compassion strengthens now. I command that the outline of my physical being strengthens now. I command that the outline of my core line strengthens now. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. Great. And so now slowly start to deepen your breath and gently come back. Take some time, I've been coming back for a while. Oh, we've had the lovely Kate join us and Susie. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, Kate, sister, we've got to speak. It's been ages. Just gently come back, everybody. Feel your feet on the earth. Feel your pelvis on the sitting device that you're sitting on. Oh, I haven't actually. Let's just get the crystals tuned in as well. So I command that these crystals embody the energy of divine grace and healing and support me to glow with my divine design frequency. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. And slowly come back. Well done. So take a few deep breaths. I'm just aware of the fact that you may want to listen to this again or write down in your journal all the stuff that you're just fed up of having to do, that you don't want to do anymore, because I didn't mention that enough in the meditation. It always goes the way it goes. But like, we will have an opportunity with the full moon to do some more clearing around that. So use the new moon energy that's coming to support you to be really radically honest with yourself about what isn't working anymore. I mean, I've had to make some really tough decisions in the last few weeks, like really, really hard. But I've had to make them in alignment for the highest good of all. And it's not easy doing the right thing sometimes. But the more you recognize that you're trying to do the best thing for everybody, the more that supports you to have the courage to do what needs to be done, knowing that things are flexible and they can change. But if we don't respect our own boundaries, no one else will. This is a huge lesson for anybody who does any kind of energy work. And if we are going to respect our own boundaries, then that does mean putting some energy behind it and sticking to things and following through on consequences or things that we've said that we would do. So I do believe that what's for you will never go past you, and so you can't get it wrong. And this is something that I've been working with a lot recently, is you just can't get it wrong. You just can't get it wrong. So focus on the fact that you cannot get it wrong and see how you go. I'd love to get some comments from you all, see how you're feeling. Anyone who wants to comment, and anyone who's local to Brighton, I just put the event up just before I did this meditation, actually, that I'm going to be hosting an equinox celebration on Tuesday at my house with the lovely Pete Nemeth, who has just come back from, where's he come back from? Oh, somewhere in the mountains. Anyway, he's just qualified as a Tibetan bowl master. So he's going to be offering us a sound bath, which will be beautiful with the Tibetan bowls. Very nice clearing. Letting go of the old, moving into the new. And what else? We're moving into my next round of coaching clients. So if you are thinking about wanting to do some coaching with me, or you're interested in finding out more about my digital programs or my coaching, or both, I will be starting my next round of group coaching sometime in early April. So if you're thinking it's time, basically if you want to do one of my digital programs with the coaching, it's a maximum investment of 5 hours a week, but it's really 4. And that includes 2 apple cider vinegar baths a week. Half an hour each. So the rest of the time is just some digital content to get through, and also being on the call with me. And I've been putting some new testimonials up on my website, so you might want to go to rosieglow.com and have a look at the bottom of the homepage for praise to see what the latest people have been saying about coaching. Certainly the people that I can most serve, it's become much clearer to me now, are awakening star seeds. And that might sound completely cuckoo, because we're all star seeds, actually. We all have, well, we originate from the stars, you know, we're all stardust, but some of us are awakened to it and some of us are not. So I don't really serve very well those who are in their mind and not wanting to move out of their mind. The people that I serve most are the ones that are interested in learning how to co-create from their hearts and discovering just how much they can shape their reality through shifting their perception and learning co-creation tools that actually support them to have a less mundane experience in the physical world, and to discover their power as super beings here on earth. So if that sounds interesting to you, I know a lot of coaches talk about making loads of money and, your dream house and your dream relationship. For me, it's about being content with you as you are, no matter what. We keep thinking that our happiness depends on something external, and it doesn't. And being able to find contentment and peace within you, fulfillment, the ability to always provide for yourself whatever it is that you need, and to keep expanding what that is. So as your view of yourself changes, you can create more and more. The better it gets, the better it gets. Those are the people I serve. So if you're interested, I'm offering free breakthrough calls for those of you who are on this meditation, or if you have watched the replay, then please get in touch if you're interested, and I will then send you an email. Thank you. I think that was Kate. Any comments from anybody before we go? Holding it together here. I'm nearly on an hour. It's amazing. Happy, happy, happy new moon. Keep connecting to that beautiful soft pink light. Keep connecting to the moonlight. Allow it to keep flushing through your being, because it will help you. And I look forward to seeing you on the full moon. And also just a reminder that if you haven't yet done the Prosperity Challenge, it's the new moon today. So it's the perfect time to start and do the Prosperity Challenge with a specific intention in mind. So if you know you'd like to do some coaching with me, either group or one-to-one, but you haven't got the funds, one of the things you can do... Oh, well done, Kat. Thank you. I'm glad you blissed out. I'm just reading here. Wow. So thank you, Rosie. That was really, really lovely. Really clear seeing of moonlight and bubble of things that need to be let go of, clearly stepped up. Let it be so that the divine timing shows itself easily and with grace. I wasn't sure about being shown my divine self signal. If I listen again and see if I can strengthen that muscle, I wasn't sure about my outline again. I tune in again. Yeah, the more you ask, the more you will receive, Sinead. Like I said, for me, I had to really make conscious connection with my higher self, my divine design timeline daily, to say, right, what are your signals? I want to know what your signals are. And you will, the purpose of the meditation is just to be able to know what questions to ask. So that's great. And yeah, that was a really blissful healing. So it is a very healing. We've got basically 2 weeks until the full moon. And this is like a bit of a rest time for us, because this month it has 2 full moons in it. So there's a lot of strong energy about. So this full new moon, because of the fact that it's in Pisces, normally the new moon's more of a strong energy and the full moons are kind of more receptive and cleansing. But it's opposite way round, which is great, it's fabulous that happens as well. So be kind to yourself, rest up, don't push yourself as much as possible. And the more you ask the questions, especially around your outlines, you'll just get more visual. And some of us aren't visual, but you'll get told, oh, your strongest one is your core. Oh, your weakest one is your physical one, or whatever. You'll get told. So think about our superpowers as being claircognizant, clairaudient, clairsentient, clairvoyant. So clear seeing, clear knowing, clear feeling, clear hearing, and many, many more. So we all tune into our intuition in different ways. But I thank you all for joining me today. And as I said, anyone who wants to take advantage of the offer for a breakthrough call, do the new moon, the Prosperity Challenge. Just sign up to the Rosy Glow website and look in your spam and your promotions inbox for the email in case it doesn't come into your main box. It's a really powerful clearing for prosperity challenges. And the feedback I've had, people have just been contacting me saying, you'll never guess what happened. This happened. This, it works. For everybody that's done it, it works. So be clear in what your intention is. For me, it was to increase my income by £600 a month when I first did it. And I did 2 rounds of it. And oh my God, it happened. So now I'm increasing again what it is that I feel I need in order to move around my life with grace and ease and not be concerned about financial stuff. So we're all different. We all have different needs. And it could be about love. It doesn't have to be about prosperity. It can be love. It could be health. It could be time. So at some point, my relationship with time I shall review. But as many of you know, I align with divine timing more than I do with human timing. That's why all my yoga classes tend to start late. But anyway, I wish you well. Lots of love. I'm going to go and rest up now because I'm not feeling too fab. But I'm really grateful to have spent this time with you. Loads and loads and loads of love. Deep gratitude. Namaste.